So one of the questions that people often ask me is, should I buy a Springer Spaniel? If you look at the information on the Kennel Club website about what Springer Spaniels are like, it gives you lots of information, and I just want to try and have a look at that information and see how you might interpret it. I would say at the outset that we've had Springer Spaniels now for the best part of 30 years, so I think we've probably got enough experience to be able to give you the real story. So I'm not going to read out the information about the characteristics of the dog in terms of size and shape and so on, because I don't think many of us who just keep dogs as pets actually pay much regard to that. But it says here temperament, and that's quite important to us, especially if you have children or grandchildren. It says friendly, happy disposition, biddable, timidity or aggression unacceptable. Now I would go along with those characteristics, but I'm just going to add a few more to it. So one of the characteristics that's not mentioned on the website is that they are completely and utterly bonkers. They, if you look at the internet, it's awash with videos of Springers running around the garden looking as if they're chasing an imaginary demon. So if you can cope with the idea that your dog is going to have all the potential to go stark raving bonkers at random times, then get a Springer. You won't regret it. Another characteristic that's not mentioned on the Kennel Club website is that they never keep still. I'm walking with them at the moment. They're just in front of me, zigzagging backwards and forwards. You can see they know what to expect, but they expect it on their terms. And Freddie basically is saying, what are you waiting for? I've come for a walk, not to hear you talk. Okay, sit. Sit. Thank you. Stay. Stay. Good boy, just stay there. Freddie. George. So that's another characteristic of Springers. They're very easily trained. They love to be with you. They love to do things with you. They love to be out walking. They're fun. You can see here the way George is just now hanging around up front waiting for me to do something. Freddie is waiting for me to throw something. George won't go far. He'll run ahead and then he'll turn around to see, well, have I started playing yet? Come on, Dad. So they are great fun. So what other characteristics are mentioned? Well, they use the phrase loyal. Now, we go away, we travel a lot, my wife and I, so we quite often take the dogs, but if we're going abroad, for example, or going some distance, then we leave the dog with friends who look after them. And the friends show us video clips of the dogs at in front of the fire in these people's houses, or in the bottom of armchairs, or sometimes, regrettably, lounging around on the sofa, something we don't allow them at home. Do they look as if they're missing their normal home environment? Not a chance. Do they look as if they're loyal to us, or do they look as if they're loyal to the people that they're staying with? Well, the fact that we leave them there, they're very happy, shows that they really do settle in quite well with other people. So yeah, they are loyal, but they're also loyal to anybody that'll feed them and give them shelter and warmth and love. So I'm going to put a question mark beside being loyal. Change your direction again, go this way, let's see what happens. Yep. Yeah, one of the things that you have to be really aware of, and I'm not saying it as a criticism, it's an observation, is that they are very energetic dogs and they do need a lot of exercise. We walk them at least an hour every day in this sort of terrain, so they're always running somewhere, and that tires them out for the rest of the day. If they don't get the exercise, our past experience is that they like to start chewing and getting a little bit neurotic, and that's when you come home and find that your curtains have been chewed or your skirting board's been chewed. Yeah, so if you're used to walking with a big slow old dog and just mooching along pavements, then a Springer is going to come as a real surprise to you. They want to get out, they want to have fun. They never stop, they're always on the go. I get people who we meet in the woods who say, I don't know how you've got the energy to keep up with them. They seem to be so restless. And I think for me, that's the attraction of the dogs. I think owners buy dogs that have the characteristics that they have, possibly subconsciously, so they select dogs and it suits their mood, their way of life. I'm out and about in the outdoors, whether it's on the hills or in the woods, all the time, and it suits the dogs. So a phrase we hear quite a lot describing Springers is that they're biddable. Well, I'm not entirely sure what that means, but they are very friendly dogs. They're not aggressive dogs. I mean, all dogs can be aggressive if you pick out the wrong characteristics and wrong traits in them. But these dogs are not aggressive. So we've seen our 3 children grow up, and they've all enjoyed playing with the dogs, and the dogs have enjoyed playing with them, and we've had no concerns. We also now have 3 grandchildren, one a toddler, and again the dogs have no problem relating to and being gentle with the grandchildren. So yeah, if biddable means can you trust them with children and other people, the answer is yes. In fact, I would go as far as saying the exact opposite. When people come round and visit our house, they get licked to death. So we're walking home now. The dog's still enjoying being out. As you can see, I've not really had to say very much to them at all, and they don't need commands. They just like going out for a walk with Dad. I sometimes feel with the 2 dogs that they're like my police outriders on motorbikes. They're driving ahead, checking out what's going on in front of me, and then turning around every now and then to see what's what, see whether I'm still keeping up with them. So there you are, Springer Spaniels, the benefit of over 30 years of experience with Springers. Yes, I would have them if I were you and the circumstances suit. If you get out a lot, if you enjoy long country walks, if you have the patience to train them to make sure they get the most out of their walks, if you have the time to invest in playing with them and giving them lots of love and attention, then they definitely are the dog for you, without any reservations whatsoever.